Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing fantastic today. We have a beautiful day today. Today is December the 10th, 11:05 a.m. Starting about 5 minutes late, guys. Sorry about that. Hope you guys, of course, are doing fantastic on this beautiful, beautiful morning. It's frigid outside. That's about the best that I can say. It's cold. It's chilly. We've got about 150 viewers across Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope. And Mixer? I don't know. Somebody set that up for me. I'm not sure. I assume we're streaming on there. Fantastic. All right, guys. How are you doing this morning? Let me know. Of course, pop it in the chat. I hope you guys obviously are doing well. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. It was a nice weekend. I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter. Got to do a little bit of work on the Twitch, guys. So, yeah, we are now Twitch affiliate. So if you guys do want to support the stream, you don't feel obligated. But if you guys want to support the stream, you guys can hit that subscribe button. We're working on making it all real pretty for you guys with the loyalty badges and the custom emotes for subscribers. Also going to be working on the Patreon this week, so you guys can have added value there as well. So a lot of ways for you guys to support the stream and support the show if you guys want to. Obviously, the simplest thing you guys can do is make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like, guys. 2018 style for the Bitcoin pump. All right, so moving on. Let's go over the basics. Slow start to week 2 for us. The Kraken Crypto Trading Group. So far, we've only closed 2 successful trades. Actually, we just closed another one this morning. EVX, right here. We just hit both take profit targets on EVX. That I got that alert just right before I clicked the go live button. So I've got to update the spreadsheet on that one. We've got about like 7 other active calls. A couple midterm positions in altcoins, and a couple other about like 5 or 6 active scalp trades on BitMEX. So yeah, BCH Z18, and we shorted TRX yesterday, so pretty good. So far, 15.45% up for the group. So doing well, guys, doing well. Congratulations to all the premium subscribers, and thank you guys. We really appreciate it, man. We're doing well. It's fun in there. We will be in Milwaukee. Scott and I will be in Milwaukee for the AAII, the American Association of Individual Investors. We will be speaking at their Wisconsin meetup for their chapter meeting, January 19th, 2019, right here. We will be doing our presentation on introduction to investing in cryptocurrency, mostly Bitcoin and the higher market cap coins for retail investors. So if you guys want to come see us, we will be speaking live there. The last time we did a conference was last May in Chicago, Illinois, at the God, I can't even remember, at the Law College. We spoke to the Illinois Financial Planners Association of Illinois. So we spoke to them. That was a great, I mean, you know, we were supposed to speak for an hour. We spoke for like 2.5 hours, and then took like a half hour of questions. It was a fantastic thing. A lot of good networking, a lot of good meetups. So if you guys want to come see us, we will be there. Updates to the website. Scott's working pretty diligently on this, and it looks a little smushed because I've got my screen small so that you guys can see, but yeah, this actually is starting to look pretty good, man. Updated the trading services page, so this all looks pretty spiffy. Starting to look pretty nice. It's really starting to really come together, guys. So go check the new website out, guys. Scott's been working pretty hard on it, and we're gonna have more updates coming into the future, guys. All right, cool. Let's start off with what you guys are interested in. So we'll just go right to the charts here and just do a quick analysis here of Bitcoin. So I continue to re-update this so that it's a little bit more prevalent, guys. I took away the order block zones in our previous area, in our previous trading range, because they're not super relevant anymore. And when we get to those areas, they'll be relevant. So I want to keep you guys updated on what areas I think are relevant. Obviously, fairly simple. We have our load zone down here. Looking at Bitstamp chart, we have our load zone from 32.65 to 32.33. Obviously, this is not super congruent with what I'm doing on BitMEX as well. If you guys will recall, I've been keeping you guys fairly updated on my position. This hasn't changed. I haven't changed this chart at all. So let's go to the 4-hour chart. So this is a little squeakier. All right, guys. So yeah, originally my position, I've been fairly transparent with it. My initial 10% fill was at 3,500, doubled up with 20% additional, so I was 30% into the position at 3,300, and then I had buys set at 3,200 and 3,100 that would put me completely into the position. I only got a partial fill, as you can see here. The actual low of that candle was 3,200. I got a 25% fill on the position that I had at 3,200, bringing my total average entry to around 3,300. And we took profits on the way up at 3,500 and 3,620. Was the measured move of the inverted head and shoulders that we had plotted out on the lower time frames. Additional targets to the upside still remain the same. And we have managed risk. We have managed risk throughout here. So we've reduced position on one particular area of stop lossing. We still have 4 stop losses left. So 3 more stop losses to go to reduce risk. And then we will have additional buys. We have the buys haven't changed, so the position hasn't changed at all. I know that some of the members also had buys set in the $3,300 range as well. Position on Ethereum hasn't changed either. Still have buys set at 80 and 83. Did enter at 88 2 days ago, and then exited at 94, 95, and 96. Have not stocked back up on Ethereum. I still have my my buy set at 80 and 83. So again, the relevant load zone right here. We have our current order block area right here, which I haven't actually mapped out for you guys, but I'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's see here. Looking at just using the session volumes right there. So current order block area or mid-range where there's a lot of transacting is currently being deducted. We're in that range right now between 90 and 88. We have our load zone down between 80 and 83, and obviously our resistance band or area to enter into a short from 90 to 97. Managing risk on a long position, most likely at 75. And managing risk on a short position at 100, guys, is how I would be looking at that and how I'd be playing that out. Now, again, I spoke about this yesterday. I spoke about the reality of the fact that Monday was coming, and most likely we would potentially see a Monday, Bloody Monday, and that's what most of you, I thought. I assume most of you figured what was happening because we had this nice high volume bearish engulfing candle on the 4-hour chart previous to the show starting, and then we had this nice little beautiful pump. Not a lot of volume behind the pump, I'll be honest. It was clearly a short squeeze. But just the bottom shorters, though. So not really the nice short squeeze that we want to see to propel us back up to the $4,000 regions. We'll wait to see how much bullish volume comes into this. This is starting to look a little bit more indecisive. The more that we go, it actually kind of doesn't look like the sustained movement that I want to the upside. And again, I'm still expecting that most likely we're going to get a sweep back down to these regions. Again, thus the justification for the buy spaced out between 3,300 to 3,100. Managing risk at 3,000 and out of position at 2,850. And below that, we fall back into that amorphous category between 2,800 and 2,300. And I think that most likely we will just wait, probably short, stay in a strong short on a break of these levels. Although hedging also into a short position on a breakdown of those levels would not be bad as well. However, I will be the, I've been pretty concise in how I'm trading this. I've been fairly consistent on how I've been explaining my position. And so I'm not going to be a bottom shorter because that's what retail does. And yes, no, am I saying that the bottom's absolutely in? No, I'm not. But am I going to be like every other, I don't know, I guess public figure who's explaining that we must go lower because this and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And no, I'm not going to do that, man. I just trade and I take the positions that I see. All right, so let's go into a little bit of news, and then we'll start breaking down these charts just a little bit more, guys. And we'll also look at our data metrics first, obviously. So Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's vision. A BSV user films himself supposedly double spending his crypto on a zero confirmation transaction. So there was another article that I had read. I haven't had time to go over this fully, so we'll do this together, guys. So BSV, obviously an altcoin born after the fork of Bitcoin Cash in conjunction with Bitcoin Cash ABC. Seems not to be as secure as Craig Wright says, as some hours ago a user reportedly was able to double spend his coins in a zero confirmation transaction. So obviously, for those of you who aren't aware, a double spend is when you have a tenuous hard fork of a particular coin and you're able to spend coins off one particular sectored block into another, so you're able to cross-chain and do transactions. This is called, when you don't have replay protection, this is obviously, or excuse me, not obviously, but generally what happens after you have a contentious hard fork. Back when we had the Ethereum Classic Callisto hard fork, it was there was a lot of fear that they had not implemented replay protection, so that if you actually had your Ethereum Classic, if you tried to spend your Callisto, there was a danger that somebody could double spend your Callisto and actually eat into your Ethereum Classic as well. So, but then in the 11th hour, they did actually implement that. They did actually implement that replay protection. So let's see here. So far, there are no records of an attack of this nature to the Bitcoin network, something that is even more difficult when it is practically a habit that merchants wait for several confirmations or rely on payment processors. However, since Bitcoin SV does have the nature of zero confirmation transactions, this is pretty much one of the most contentious things that has been, bandied about between Bitcoin Cash, ABC, and Bitcoin. Actually, the enumerations are multiple. So obviously, Bitcoin SV quadrupled the block size and said that this is naturally what Bitcoin needs to be so that it can act as a currency. But, Craig Wright obviously just pounding that drum extensively. Craig Wright also taking credit, I would assume, for the collapse of the Bitcoin price recently, because he is He is basically saying that he has a ton of Bitcoin and that he has been selling them. We do have pretty good intel that that's, if we looking at Bitmain's losses and their quarterly report, seems pretty clear that Bitmain is losing a whole bunch of money. They had diverted hashing power from the Bitcoin Cash pool, or excuse me, from the Bitcoin mining pool of Bitmain's to move over and mine Bcash ABC. They were very blatant about the fact that they were doing that, which is, I mean, you signed up with their pool to mine Bitcoin, and they without your permission switched your hashing power over to mine Bitcoin Cash ABC. Supposedly they're selling a lot of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash as well to fund the to rent hashing power to do this hash war against Craig Wright. Now supposedly they've kissed and made up. I highly doubt that. So this is from a user named Rezu. He says that he uploaded a video on Vimeo filming an effective double spend of his BSV tokens, and he said. He also wrote a blog post on honest.cash explaining how he carried out the attack for educational purposes. According to his explanation, the root cause of BSV being so vulnerable is because of its centralization. So taking advantage of this situation, he sent multiple expenses through the different nodes, which allowed him to prove that the danger is genuine. He said, then I had an idea. What if I send each node a unique transaction? Instead of double spending, it would be a kind of 450 spending, one for each node of the BSV network. By keeping a record of which node each transaction was sent to, then I could see which transaction is the one that was mined in the next block. That way it would help me to identify the mining nodes. Indeed, after a few mined blocks, I discovered that the transactions that were being mined were those that were sent almost always to the same nodes. I also confirmed what we already know, that Bitcoin SV mining is very centralized. Specifically, 34% of the hash rate is only one node, 59% of the hash rate are two nodes, 68% of the hash rate are three nodes, and 75% of the hash rate are four nodes, meaning that only four nodes, four miners are controlling 75% of the hashing power for Bitcoin Cash SV. He pointed out to avoid the possibility of this attack, nodes must communicate with each other when they receive a double spending transaction. Ignoring it silently does not make sense, which apparently is what he is claiming that they do. After this news broke out, some Twitter users wrote to Craig Wright asking for an explanation. Wright simply denied the rumors without providing further logical or technical back to his words. He just said, bullshit, no evidence, no reproducibility, no bullshit spend article. So beware, guys, beware. Bitcoin Cash SV, potential double spend, potential out there. Morgan Creek Digital, which is a cryptocurrency index, which has launched a cryptocurrency index, is making a Warren Buffett-style bet on cryptocurrency to beat traditional stocks. So they have announced a $1 million wager that their crypto index will outperform the S&P 500 over the next decade. So pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. They say, quote, this is a combination of our outlook not only for the upside of cryptocurrencies, but also the outlook on public equities. A lot of people might look at this and just think we're bullish on crypto, but you need to look at what asset we're going up against. Public equities aren't exactly at their all-time highs either. So Anthony Pompliano, he is basically saying that traditional stocks will decline and cryptocurrency will continue to rise. So, looking at the nuance of that, it's not just that he's bullish on crypto, it's that he's bearish on public equities. Just a little news roundup here. CZ from Binance had tweeted out, he had tweeted out this, what do you think will be the trigger for the next bull run? He says he gets asked this question often, and honestly, he doesn't know the answer other than just keep building. And so Crypto Guy tweeted at him, he says, when you buy all the Bitcoins, he said, I can't, Jeff Bezos can. So as we reported on earlier this year, Amazon had bought 3 cryptocurrency-related domains late last year: Amazon Ethereum, Amazon Cryptocurrency, and Amazon Cryptocurrencies. They also own Amazon Bitcoin, which currently right now just redirects right to Amazon.com. So we're going to see. They've had those for a while, and now they've launched to their Amazon Web Services. So interesting. Ripple is hiring. Ripple's hiring a new solutions architect. The new hire is supposed to help RippleNet grow by designing and then guiding the deployment and integration of Ripple solutions with banking and payment systems for Ripple's customers based in India and the Middle East. So there you go. If you guys want to go work at Ripple and you think you're qualified, the job's on the table, man. Meanwhile, William Shatner is tweeting about crypto once again, which again, this is something Ripple and XRP is not the same thing. Ripple is a software solutions company that designs cross-border payments for banks. XRP is the digital asset used by its payment solution XRapid. So when people are, conflating Ripple and XRP is quite differently. And Ripple, the company, still holds 60% of all XRP. So just so you guys are aware, XRP is designed to be used by banks as a replacement to fiat, not necessarily as a currency to be used by the masses. Trezor has added native support for Ethereum, and BitGuild has switched its blockchain-based avatar game Bitizens from Ethereum to Tron, guys. So, a little bullish on Tron. The rest of this stuff I don't think is fairly, ooh, gonna sneeze. Ooh, that means Bitcoin's going up. All right, let's double check. Ooh, no, we got a pin bar. We got a pin bar. Yes, short the bottom, guys. Short the bottom, please. Provide liquidity. Let's see here. Moving on. Last little bit of news. This is another little XRP news nugget. A developer creates an exciting new use for XRP. And I just want to point this out. Look at that tagline. Developer creates exciting new use for XRP. Now let's go on to see what is this exciting new use for XRP. An independent developer who goes by the name XRPTO_O, so that's actually the Google eyes right there, like the eyebrows, has allegedly created a program for iOS which will allow users to conduct XRP transactions with voice commands via Siri. So that's the amazing development, guys. You can now use your voice to tip people with XRP. Woo! Oh my God, man. Lightning Network, step aside! Step aside! Jesus, man. There's so many great articles coming out about development and blockchain and all these exciting exciting projects, and exciting as voice commands. I got nothing, man. All right, so let's take a look at our data. We'll start off with CoinFarm. Last 30 minutes, 5.273 million in the short side. Significant trades, monitoring that as well, as you can see on the chart, guys. Let's go look at the last hour. Last hour, significant shorts right here at this point. Last 2 hours, we had this was the pump. We had about 13 million in the buy, and the shorts have stepped in quantitatively to match that now, because we have 5 million here, we have 9 million here, we have 7 million here. So that's actually overpowering that long right there. Squeezed at this particular moment in time. And we'll just wait to see. We have a lot of longs underwater now. A lot of longs entered up here at the top. A lot of shorts are in profit as well. So we'll look for that to happen. A lot of shorts entered on that pump. So looking at margin position. And I got asked a question the other day. People are like, I don't even understand how you can look at the differentiation between BitMEX longs and shorts, because for every short there's a long. It's a dollar to dollar ratio. You're right. You are absolutely right for contract size, but it's not equal? Margin. What's not equal is margin, and this is a good indicator of what side is stronger, okay? Because if the shorts are highly leveraged, meaning there's not significant margin in their positions, then there is a higher potential for them to get short squeezed, because there's not a lot of margin backing their positions, meaning their liquidation price is quite high, and their likelihood to cover is also quite higher. Conversely, if you see a lot of margin in a short position, then you know that that's a comfortable long-term short position, and they can suffer significant drawdown without having to cover or be liquidated. Conversely, when you look at a long position, if there's a lot of overly leveraged longs, like when you see, like we just saw a second ago, actually, the shorts were to the dominance on margin position. When I checked this right before the stream, so you had a lot of overly liquidated over leveraged longs on that pin bar pump, and what that means is that it's probably not going to be sustained because those longs are not going to be able to suffer significant drawdown. They're going to be liquidated quite quickly, and they're going to sell. They're going to buy. They're going to cover their longs when price moves against them. So what we see right here is that a lot of longs are highly margined, meaning those are longs in comfortable positions. So 71% of margin is actually in long positions. Only 28% of margin on CoinFarm on BitMEX right now is in short positions. So we'll see when this drastically gets reduced. So take this into account. Look at this spread in margin. The longs are in comfortable long positions, and the shorts have very little margin in their accounts. So let's go over and look at our XBT USD. Look at our margin analysis right here. Okay, well, we see that shorts are in the dominance right now, 51%, 65, 40, 48, 35. And if we look back at the last 2 hours, we can see this massive increase in shorts, but they're overly leveraged, man. There's not a lot of margin in those positions, whereas all the longs that entered here, so that was, okay, so 104? Oh, 104? Go back and look at the charts. Here's 130, 25, 20, 15, 10, boom, boom. So a lot of longs entered here, obviously longing the top, but they're not covering. They're not covering, guys, because there's a lot of margin in those positions. So we will just wait. So that's that actually implies to me that's a bullish bias right there. So overall analysis of CoinFarm is going to be actually bullish with the shorts. So midterm bullish. The reason why is because there's a lot of margin in those long positions, so they can suffer a significant amount of drawdown. And short-term bearish because of the overwhelming number of shorts that have piled in on top of that. But only slightly, guys, only slightly. Okay, so our CoinFarm analysis gives us a short-term bias of bearish and a midterm bias of bullish. Let's go over and look at VC Health, and we can look at market depth ratio. Let's go ahead and refresh this baby, and we'll look at the asks and bids. Historical market depth, let's go to the day. This is updated on the minute. Okay, we actually see that combined order books right now, $47 million, about $47.5 million. Buy pressure is 26.3 million, and sell pressure is 21.0 million. So actually, when did they overcome? So we actually had we had a spike in the sells here, but not really enough to overcome the bids. But really, the divergence occurs at 2:54 p.m. And I hate how this calculates because this is UTC time. So this is minutes behind us. This is minutes behind us, so this is an hour. So about an hour ago. Excuse me. So if it's saying it's 5:27 right now, 4:27, 3:27, 2:27. So 3 hours ago, excuse me. 3 hours ago, we had a fairly significant divergence of the asks and the bids, where the bids actually took supreme dominance and the asks kind of fell off the map. So if we go back and look at our spot price and go to the hourly chart, go back 1, 2, 3 hours. Okay, cool. Here we have a significant divergence. So although we have selling, we actually have far more people buying than selling. We have a divergence of the bids and the asks. So our VC Health actually is midterm and short-term bullish. Volume analysis. We have a little bit of falling volume right here, so not a whole lot of sustained movement behind this. Again, looking at the hourly chart, this is a nice bullish pin bar movement that we got right here, but it's nothing really compared to this, and it's nothing really compared to this. Actually, it's fairly equidistant to that, but we weren't able to travel the same amount of time. So still significant resistance in this area, and we were not able to make it up to our previous load zone for shorts. Our inverted move, our measured move for the inverted head and shoulders. And right now, our previous resistance from over here that was support and is now turned into resistance, this order block area right here, and our previous rejection as well. So analysis of volume is actually neutral. Not a lot of sustained movement behind the bullish movement, but also not a whole lot of not a whole lot of massive volume behind selling pressure as well. So historical market depth is bullish, volume is neutral. And that's all the metrics that we're going to quantify from there. Looking at the bid-ask sum. Let's go look at BitMEX. And we'll go hour. And we'll do 5% of price. We'll start off with 5% of price. 5% of price we do see right here, guys, if you can see it. So right now, also on BitMEX, we do have more bids than asks, and the asks are falling off, and the bids are rising slightly. We did have this nice, high spike in the bids right here. We reached a peak right here. That was actually going to be the decline. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Let's go look at 24 hours. My bad. 24 hours. Yes, we had this nice little spike in bids, and now a decline, but still bids much higher than the asks, and asks rising slightly right here, but we have resistance from the asks right here. That'll make sense when we go look at our longs and shorts, especially on Bitfinex. But let's look at the entire order book. I already know what it's going to say. Yep, the entire order book, looking at the minute chart right here. Last 24 hours. Okay, excellent. So this is the entire order book, because 50% to the top, 50% to the down. So this represents the entire order book. We did have declining bids over the last 24 hours. And then we had some significant drops and then popped back up. So now we are actually right around the upper peak of resistance. So maybe we can actually get some sustained growth, but rising open interest in longs and shorts positions, which is good. We did have this massive drop off in volume. This is probably everybody. This was that pump. So this is longs like, I don't know what to do. And this is shorts, I don't know what to do. So most likely, because that happened so quickly, this is longs exiting positions on the way down and shorts exiting positions on the way up. So that's quite funny to see, actually. Rising open interest in BitMEX right now, so we should be able to see more volume pour in because of the rising open interest, and it's Monday, guys. So let's check out Bitfinex as well. Bitfinex, I already know what it's going to say. Yep, Bitfinex, we have, this is fucking crazy, dude. But we do have falling bids, and now they've kind of leveled off sideways right here in the last 24 hours. Asks as well, falling and then falling off sideways. So not rising open interest on the Bitfinex markets as well. So now going to the 5% chart, seeing what's actually going to move the price today. Bids still much higher than asks on Bitfinex, which they have been. We had this massive spike right here just at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they've been falling down since then with some significant pumps as well. So overall, within 5% of the order book. So we're looking for that to actually move price right now. In the short term, we do have rising bids and falling asks. So short term bullish on Bitfinex, and midterm bullish as well because of the still the higher bids than asks. Looking at BitMEX right here, we see rising open interest as again within 5% of the price. So this is what we're expecting to move price in the short term, and actually the dominance is still with the long positions as well. So short term bullish as well on our bid ask sum for BitMEX and Bitfinex. Let's see here. If we look at price per plus volume across all exchanges, let's see here. If we look at the last 24 hours. Yep, so rising volume right here in the last 24 hours, 36.4 million in that hour, 23 million. So we do actually have rising volume right here and a little bit of a bounce in price. So we will look and see how that plays out. That is based on where price action is. That's actually probably going to be neutral, but the rising volume is good, especially coupled with the rising open interest. All right, so that's all our data metrics. Let's see here. So we'll start off. We already kind of went over Bitcoin a little bit. Let's go take a look at Mr. Ethereum. All right, so Mr. Ethereum on Bitfinex right here. We'll see if this is actually going to be a higher low. Looking at our descending channel line right here, this is the descending channel that we were playing in. We did have a breakdown to test support at 86, 85, which was, as I've been talking about for quite a while, where we were going to go to. We've established this order block area right here. This is not as clean as, for example, that I have with Bitcoin, where I have our clear delineation of short area, load area, and order block area. Maybe it's because I don't care about Ethereum as much, but we do have our previous order block that I've noticed up here, and we do currently have resistance in this area that we were not able to make it. We were not able to make it over $102. So I'm going to say in that $100, $102 range, which is also actually the map of that slight. I don't really like it now looking back at it, but we have that slight descending triangle pattern right there. On the 4-hour chart, we also see the 55 period moving average. Zabi8422, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. This is interesting, though. We did have a breakdown of the channel area, a pop back up of it, a rejection down to retest the lows, a sweep, and then upwards. And we'll see if the bulls can hold this area right here. I'm not really too concerned with this particular price area right now at $91. Honestly, on spot price right now, it's not as important to me. We do see this nice, we do see this nice accumulation style volume. So as you can see here, we have falling, we have rising volume on the movement down. We actually have our breakdown candle right here, and then we have our oversold candle right here. So this is what I like to see when I'm actually looking for a reversal, guys. So this is the breakdown candle, this is the breakdown candle where you have extremely high volume breaking below support. So that's this candle right here. You can see that congruent with the high volume right there as well, guys. That is your short entry if you're looking to take the breakdown short. And that would have played out quite well for you. Even if you were still in it, you'd still be in quite nice profit right now. And then conversely, looking for the exit for that short or looking for the entry into a long is the secondary candle that follows it. Why? Because you have this massive spike in selling volume. You're far below support, so it's not breakdown volume. What is it? It's oversold volume. Now, it's not beautiful. You have to change your time frame because we are on a meso time frame right now. But you don't get that really hammer candle pattern formation or any nice reversal pattern formation. But then you do have 3 periods of consolidation where you see that you have significant volume coming in, but the bears are not able to push the price down any further. And then this is a good time to be entering into a long position or exiting your short with your stop loss set below support, because then you're invalidated on that trade as soon as you see breakdown volume below this area of support that we posited in. And then obviously you get the nice reactionary, nice reactionary spot right there. Oh, Ashley J, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Highly appreciated. So yeah, I'm not overly concerned with this actual price area at $91 holding. Again, if you go over to our BitMEX chart, I do have my, again, my order hasn't changed for Ethereum. I do have my buys in the buy zone right here, $80 and $83 respectively, managing risk slightly lower than that. And then again, I had already entered yesterday. I took advantage of the $88 entry. Kind of wish I had entered for a little bit more, but alas, that's fine. I missed this pump, and the reason why is because I had stop limits set for my sells, for my sells, and they didn't initiate. So I was kind of upset about that, especially as I dropped back down to the accumulation range. So I did double back up it again around $88, and then I was able to get out at 94, 95, and 96 on the way back up. So that's good. Now, if we hold this order block area, I'll feel fairly confident. But again, I'm still open to the idea that most likely what we're going to see is, again, a resweep of those lower levels. Still bullish. But it seems that, as I said yesterday, when retail misses the bus, they miss the bus. When larger traders, when institutions miss the bus, they just pull that bus right on back, guys. And there's just, honestly, for a Monday, there's not a whole lot of volume here, guys. There's not a whole lot of volume, guys. So there's really not a whole lot of dedicated selling, and there's really not a whole lot of dedicated buying. This was a short squeeze on everybody that was shorting the bottom right here, so that's quite natural. But then we see that shorters took that as an opportunity to just enter at a higher level. So still a lot of significant resistance to get up in over there, but again, the volume isn't really there, guys. The volume isn't really there, so it's difficult to base your decisions on this recent price action. Again, I'm still looking for a sweep down to these lower levels and looking to take profits over here. However, if that doesn't happen, I'd potentially probably be looking to enter into a short in this area, managing my risk in these upper areas, guys. We still have a on the lower time frame, on the 30-minute time frame, which is not yet invalidated, honestly. We still have a measured move up to $110 if this inverted head and shoulders plays out. But if we continue to move more sideways, I'll feel less confident about that. It's not 100% invalidated yet. You still have that on the table. Taking a look at Ripple, and I got to take my time with this because everybody really likes Ripple. First off, let's shift to the daily. Logarithmic. So looking at the daily chart, we do have a good area where we would find support right here at our current price area right now. We can see we wicked off that support level quite well. We're still in this descending pattern that I know people are still calling a bear flag, but the longer we retrace, the less it becomes a bear flag, especially because that bullish push really starts right here. So honestly, you really should be measuring your Fibonacci retracement from there. From here, and that puts you below your 618 Fibonacci retracement. You're going to be coming up on your 786 at 82,360 for XRP BTC price. Again, XRP as far as Bitcoin price goes to Bitcoin price. So if Bitcoin does rise, then XRP BTC will fall, and if BTC falls, then XRP BTC will most likely rise. But we haven't really seen those same movements right here. We've seen just really this price contraction as we continue to move down in this descending pattern. Now we do see the 55 period moving average on the daily chart coming up on us for Ripple Bitcoin, and so that is a likely area for us to find some more significant support. That's also at our 50% retracement area and at the top of this high volume node. Okay, so looking for a little bit of consolidation or a bounce in between the 618 and the 50%, potentially starting here where our 55 EMA is, and really traveling down to here to the middle range of this high volume node. I do have this area marked right here where I start to be less optimistic about the continued ascension of XRP BTC. But just looking at the trend right now, especially if we pop on Mr. Heikinashi, we can see that the trend is still quite bearish. And we do see that we're actually descending lower where we were wicking down and finding good buying support. Now we're actually looking to close candles down in that area, not supremely bullish. Again, still probably fairly confident with a short position on XRP BTC here until we get a break of this and our Heikinashi switch to green in somewhat of a more sustained fashion, guys. But we're coming up on some areas of interest. Again, our 50% Fibonacci retracement on the true swing high to this true swing low here, and our 55 period moving average, which is just kind of creeping in on us here as well. If we take a look at the big picture, we are on a 5 of 9. We did have this unperfected 9 count to the downside. Since it's not perfected, that is not an area where I like to enter into a speculative long. We did have a 3 to 4 periods of consolidation and then the continued movement downwards, guys. So we are coming up on that support level that I have for us here, as well as previous TDST resistance. So I mean, the area is interesting, especially with this confluence of the 55 daily EMA and our 50, well as this high volume node that we're going to see here. But I'm not confident in it for a reversal. Again, this is a speculative area where you can enter if you want to. You have areas to manage your risk, but they're not fantastic areas to manage your risk. Still fairly confident in the short. Now, would I be entering into a short now? No, you don't short the bottom. Potentially be looking for a bounce back up to your 21 EMA on your daily chart, or a retest of your 382, potentially even a retest of your highs right here. And you'd probably be managing your risk. Or would you be managing your risk if you're looking to enter on a daily? Well, let's see here. And I'm really hungry this morning. Okay. So that's kind of your idea if you're looking to take XRP BTC to the long side here on spot price. Potentially looking to enter on a retest of the 50% Fibonacci retracement, the confluence of the 55 EMA and the support line right here. So that's going to put you for a potential entry in between 86178 and 83719. So you've got a entry area there of about 3.25%. And you'd probably be looking to retest your particular areas here, just looking at VPVR for potential target areas here. 87,692, 91854, and 95953. So you've got upside potential from the average entry point right here. You've got upside potential of 12, almost 13%, almost 8%, and about 2.82%. Managing risk. Let's see here. Managing risk. that's 3.5% below price. We would actually want to do, so that's about 10% below price. So here, if we're looking at our average entry, you're looking at about 10% below price to keep you in the trade. So that would put your stop right a little bit below where your actual trailing stops is, and right below the 618 Fibonacci retracement. That would give you drawdown of 10% and potential upside of 14%. So not the best R to R on that particular position. And again, looking at the sentiment and looking at the momentum here, I'm more inclined to still be in the short or taking profit on the short potentially at this area and waiting for some confirmation for that entry. But that's your speculative entry. Tighter stop, that would be absolutely fine. You could use a 2x ATR multiple. So that would actually be managing your risk at 2.62%. So that would be putting your entry here in the average area of your load zone and managing your risk at right below the 50% Fibonacci retracement, and currently right underneath your 50% or your 55 EMA right there. So around 82,205. Again, that's the setup if you wanted to take that, not the trade that I would be taking. And then what did I actually say for the 3.5, which is really where your true stop loss should be, honestly? We'll just go ahead and set it right there. Actually, no, I've got to be consistent because that's from current price. So, okay, so actually 9.62. So average area of your load zone, 9.62, 6719, right there. Actually, sorry, this is aggressive. My bad. Wrong wording. This is your aggressive stop loss. This is your conservative stop loss. Just remember, guys, conservative stop losses get you wrecked in crypto, unfortunately. You got to look at when you're looking at risk management, it's all about position size, guys. It's all about position size. So that's a little cluttered, but hopefully that's helpful. I'll go ahead and publish that. All right. I'll leave those up there. For now, I'll leave those up there for now. Likely though, it's not the trade that I want to take. More than likely, it's not really the trade that I want to take. But it's there on the table, guys. But not something that I would want to be. All right, so looking at Ripple Dollar on Bitfinex. This does not start to look fantastic, guys. I talked about this this gap trade area, guys. Finding a little bit of support here on the daily chart. Let's take a look at Heiken Ashi. Yeah, still. So XRP USD actually doesn't look super bad. We've got price contraction on falling volume right here. Not a whole lot of buying volume coming in to step this up. So it lets you know that, hey, I don't know, guys, but generally what does follow falling volume and sideways price action is some kind of movement. So this would not, XRP USD actually is in a decent area for a little bit of a recovery. I would like actually price to come down. Obviously I have this order block load zone area. But we did find a little bit of support, almost wicking right off the top of that at 28 cents. But as I've been saying for a while, guys, I had said that most likely going down, especially after we broke this. But I've been pretty bearish on XRP USD price for a while. Let's see here. Take off Akanashi and Japanese candlestick. So we actually do have an unperfected 9. A bearish engulfing candle on the daily right here. So short trades to the daily are going to be safer. More than likely, we're going to get a few more days of sideways movement here, just based on what happens when we've gotten an unperfected 9 before on the daily. You can see here we have, you know, a little bit of a pump and then a little bit of sideways. Yeah, man. Got resistance here right now that we've got to get over at 32, almost 33 cents. We've got to get over that little baby resistance. We're also going to have resistance here. Just making it harder for us as price continues to go down. And then clearly resistance right there as well. So we can go ahead and delete that area. And just make this cleaner for us. And looking back in time, yeah, we've already broken down below this historical level of support. So actually that is going to be resistance as well now that we're below it. And we can see that it actually did act as resistance for a candle body close. So the sellers just took advantage of this to continue to get out at a better position. And yeah, man, we don't, it's starting to look ugly going down below us. So we'll just wait to see. We'll wait to see. Currently, this level of support is holding right now. So 26 to 28 cents. A violation of that area is going to get pretty gnarly, moving us down to 21 cents, potentially even 15 cents. So we'll see what kind of bullish volume we can see coming in here. But doesn't look good. Now the potential is there for a little bit. Just based on that 9, based on potentially a bullish pop right here, but I am unsure of how strong it would be. Again, you've got that 8 just grinding you down, man, so you can't even say anything until you're able to close any kind of daily candle above that 8. Yeah, man. Here you have your crossover, and then you have your death cross at the lower time of the faster EMAs, and everything just kind of creeping down on you, man. And the lower that 55 EMA goes, the harder it gets to get above it. So we'll just see. Wouldn't be taking anything but short scalps on XRP today. Of course, we'd have to look at the XRP Z18 chart as well, because that is going to diverge because it's a quadruple derivative. Let's see. You're still bullish on Bitcoin Cash ABC, actually, believe it or not. We seem to have found a bottom, moving sideways in this period of consolidation, and we're just going to see what kind of pop we can get up from this, especially if that negative news actually continues to impact BCH SV as it has. Looking at BCH SV, you've got your load zone right here. We have held that, roughly we have held that 50% Fibonacci retracement as well, so it looks like we're coming back down to retest it. We did actually spike all the way up to our 236, came back down, tested our 382 as resistance, so none of this is looking particularly good for a pump. But this has been negatively correlated to Bitcoin price as well, so we can expect that if Bitcoin price does go down, we can actually expect BSV to actually pump. So if as soon as I see signs of an XBT breakdown, then I would probably be looking to stack up a little bit of BSV. And actually a speculative entry here in the load zone would not be a bad idea. Let's see here. What's ATR right now? Pull up in the data window. ATR right now is at about 4.5, so $9 would be a 2x ATR. So if you wanted to manage your risk conservatively, you'd wait for your average entry in your load zone. So negative 9.5, or excuse me, negative $9 would put you right about here at about 78 bucks. Magnet mode, about 78 bucks. Risk right there. And your 3.5 multiple of ATR would actually put your stop at 13.5. So average entry, and you go down 13.5 at 73.50. We're right where the support zone is actually, so I'm not even going to change that, and we'll just put that there. Stop. Aggressive. There you go. And you've still got, let's see, you've got your upside targets now. Really unknown, man. I mean, obviously you've got previous areas that you've retested, like 120 and 134, that actually would have served as good profit target areas on the way down, just going off lower wicks. You did actually get rejected from that previous distribution area. But you're in a period of consolidation. You look at VPVR, this entire range is honestly just consolidation. So you start to get pretty bullish if you break above it. And really the only metrics that you have, since this is such a new asset, is that you'd be retargeting your previous targets, potentially highs of previous wicks. And you could also be doing something like a Fibonacci extension, honestly. So you just flip your Fibonacci. And you've got your upside targets. 165, 180, 192, 205, if this thing goes full on bull. But no confirmation of that yet, and we'll just play what the markets bring us, guys. All right, guys, so we'll pop back over to Mr. XBT, go to the 30-minute chart, Mr. Auto this, Mr. Log this. We'll just continue to watch, guys. We'll just continue to watch. So if we actually look at the entire consolidation zone, we can find clear evidence for where would have been a good entry. We can actually see that where did we run into resistance? Well, we ran into resistance in our previous and again, I haven't changed this, so this is actually going to be a little bit different from. Let's actually go ahead and change this to red now. Put a white border, and let's change this to green because that's my current load zone. We've got our current order block right here. Okay, good. If we are looking at VPVR, we can actually see that we have our high volume node right in this area. We had a push back up, establishing a high volume node right here of distribution. We had already previously established a high volume node right here with previous distribution. So this distribution area is going to be acting as resistance. And we can see we get rejected from it 1, 2, 3 times so far. So lower highs currently right now in the short time frame, still higher highs in the meso view. We do have somewhat of a descending channel right now. I don't really pay any attention to chart patterns on low time frames, guys. They're just gonna get you tripped up. Clearly, you can see that we do have this ascending trend line on the longer time frames. And we also, so we're actually in somewhat of an upward, channel, maybe a broadening bottom, which is typically bullish. A broadening bottom is typically bullish. A broadening wedge, as I see, a broadening ascending wedge, as I hear them called elsewhere. But just look at your encyclopedia of chart patterns, guys. Called a broadening bottom. It's different from a broadening top. There's different metrics of measuring it. And again, I don't really pay a lot of attention to chart patterns, guys. I think they're a lot of hopium. I just look at support and resistance, guys. Like, where are people in the markets? Where are they positioned to buy and sell? That's all you need to know, guys. Just critical areas, enter at high likely areas to enter, manage your risk effectively, and exit at high probability areas to exit, guys. So what are high probability areas to enter? Well, here. Where are high probability areas to exit? Here. That's in the short term, guys. You guys don't have to make it very complicated, guys. You guys don't have to make it very complicated. Let's hop on over. Oh, shoot. I probably just... Oh, no. Okay, that's cool. All right, so let's take a look at the chat, guys. Hey, I hope you guys are doing well again. Obviously, it's Monday, guys. Make sure to smash that like button, guys. Coming up on break time, man. Coming up on break time. Actually, it is noon, so let's take a quick 1 to 2 minute break, guys. Get your requests ready. We'll be looking at whatever altcoins you'd like us to look at, and then we'll be doing chat engagement as soon as we get back, man. All right, guys, so just hang in there and enjoy these smooth, soothing tunes from Ryan Little, guys. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, thanks for hanging in there, man. Appreciate all the viewers, man. Thank you so much, guys. I mean, you guys really, I talk about this a lot. I don't mean to wax like nostalgic or whatever on you guys or loquaciously, but I really enjoy doing this. And I appreciate everybody that's been following on Twitch, subscribing on YouTube, dropping by the Discord to say what's up. All the new people joining the Cracking Cryptocurrency trading group. I really appreciate it, man. All right, so let's go to the chat, man. Let's see what's going on with you beautiful people. Young Tim Allen, what's going on, brother? Jurgen Ernst, good morning, man. Stacking Stoner, good to see you in here. Hodl Crypto, what's up, brother? Are we gonna liquidate the non-believers today or what? I fucking hope so, man. Gene, good morning to you, man. Gene, I appreciate smashing that like button, man. Christian Debick, what's going on, man? How's Croatia doing this morning? Joey V, yeah, that's right, man. Muscle up, brother. Crypto Friends, XRP to the moon, man. We can't have a Cracking Cryptocurrency live stream without Crypto Friends XRPing to the moon, man. Ben Joseph, what's going on, man? Mark D says, shorten all pops in this downtrend. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, man. Wally Chans, crypto isn't going anywhere. If there aren't signs of a V bounce, why not invest in stocks until the bull run starts? I mean, listen, that's totally fine to play your portfolio however you want. I'm not dissuading people from investing in stocks. I think that the stock market is probably in turn for a lot of downside potential. Now, there's obviously still a lot of opportunities for people to invest in, depending on what kind of level you're trading in. I mean, obviously, there's lots of opportunity and volatility in the stock market, especially to the short side, especially if you're trading options and you know how to sell put options is probably your best option right now. Don't just sell put options for a premium value. I mean, sell put options on stocks you actually want to buy is typically the best way. And then if you have enough capital, maybe naked short, but that's up to you, man. I think it's probably a lot better to invest in something like a gold ETF right now if you're just looking to hedge against the volatility in both markets. Coin hustle, whoop-de-damn-do. Hell yeah, man. Brandon Murray, good morning to you, man. I'm going to keep buying Stellar Lumens, $100 USD every day. Hope it will bounce again. Hey, man, that's not a bad idea. Pretty bullish on XLM, actually. Let's go take a quick look at that baby, actually. You actually can see the position that I'm working on right here. And there you have it, man. Live for the world to see, man. Got my load zones. Got my take profits. Dropping below that, we enter into a different territory, man. Dropping below that, we enter into a different territory. So, not doing too bad so far on XLM. But it's going to move with the market, man. It's going to move with the market. Ooh, that's my daughter. Mad as hell. Really need to do it for what a dollar. Yeah, I don't have as much data for USDT, so it's not going to be as helpful. We're probably going to have to start charting it out on XLM USD actually here. But same thing, not a whole lot of significant data previously because of when the fiat pairings were in. Looking at this, which is what I had pointed out to somebody. One of the members had posted to me a couple charts of XLM, trying to justify their bullish bias. So I drew a line of best fit for a descending parallel channel. And just based off this, we actually have a lot more movement to go to the upside, but looking like we're getting a little bit of rejection from our 50% line right there. Again, these are lines of best fit, but we can see even with the line of best fit how the market has respected them fairly well. So tethered to BTC price, not actually looking horrible, but tethered to the dollar, the fiat pairing for XLM is not looking bullish yet. Has not flipped around on me yet. This actually looks kind of like a bear flag. And we're going to get confirmation of that actually right now. just the line of best fit. Drop down, test back up to retest that as resistance, which would actually be, if we're looking at the point of breakout. Let's baby up here a little bit. We're looking at the point of breakout. While you're looking to measure what I like to do anyways, is I measure the lowest wick, the lowest low of the actual last candle inside the zone. And then rejection from that on a retest is going to signify the actual break of this bull flag. That in conjunction with what seems to me also the rejection from the 50% line right here on this parallel channel, to me is actually pretty bearish for our fiat pairings. And then we just see the falling volume on this movement up, and actually the nice little spike in bearish volume right here. So we'll wait and see. This does look like rejection to me. That's invalidated if we're able to close above this, and then we're looking at potential rejection from our downside target, from our resistance levels right here as well, which double as take profit targets if you're already in a position long. And we do see this oversold volume, but the recovery is very, very, very weak, guys. And we can see here the difference between breakdown volume. So here we have support, and we're coming up on a support level right here. This was back at the beginning of December. This is invalidated because we're able to close a 4-hour candle or a daily candle. If we go back and look at that area, we actually close a 4-hour candle below support. We don't have the breakdown volume actually until this candle right here. We have the breakdown volume right here, which would have faked people out as oversold volume. But you just have to keep in mind the area of the trend and look at ATR. You're not anywhere at this point in time below 2 ATR actually on USD pairing. We go look at ATR at this point in time. We can see that ATR was 0055. So at that point in time, so the breakdown actually here, excuse me, go look here. ATR here was 0050. Okay, so let's do 0050. 0.005, so actually 1 cent right there. Yeah, 1 cent. We're getting that oversold volume, and we're only 2x ATR below our breakdown level. Nah, man. Nah, that would have foreshadowed more coming. And then you do get that oversold volume and this automatic rally backwards up just because of the exhaustion of the sellers. But it doesn't look to me like they're exhausted. It looks like the buyers have no interest in buying this fiat pairing. So we'll just wait, man. No confirmation of a bullish movement in XLM yet. But as far as the BTC pairings go, still looking into averaging into my position. Ah, Ladyboy, Verge lover, how we doing, man? Anyone holding Monetha? Devin Young, look, bro. I totally biffed on you yesterday, man. I told you I would look at Verge and TRX. And then I don't think I did it all, man. So I apologize for that. I was just thinking about that actually yesterday. I was talking to Scott and I was like, I ended the live stream. So we will definitely look at both TRX and Verge for you today. Yes, sir. Not a problem. Locked in, dude. All right. Does TradingView have inverse crypto charts? How do I find them? You just go down to your gear icon right here. So let's actually go over to Bitcoin, guys, and we'll talk about how bullish Bitcoin is here. Let's go to the daily chart. Auto this baby. Okay, man, that's looking bearish, man. I don't really like that. You just click the gear icon and hit invert scale. Oh my God, look how bullish everything is. Look how bullish everything is. And actually, I know a lot of people who actually manage their shorts like this. So sometimes it just depends on what you're better at. Are you better at shorting or are you better at longing? When you start to trade margin, when you become a margin trader, you actually will figure out very well, if you keep accurate records of your trade results, like whether you're better to the long side or whether you're better to the short side. I'm actually much better to the long side than I am to the short side. So actually when shorting, I don't do this, but when shorting, I know a lot of people who want to short but consider themselves better long traders. They will invert their chart because they're better at trading upwards. They're better at trading pullbacks. So actually you can see if you invert the chart on the daily, and if you would have just been doing an aggressive pullback strategy where you're actually in this case shorting every pullback to the 8-period moving average, you can do the exact same thing with your Ichimoku actually as well. So you're going to invert your scale and you're actually going to be aggressively buying any pullbacks to your Tencon, you would have been in this as well. And even you might even want to, I have this set for crypto, so if you set this back to regular Forex, it might have actually played out for you better. But that's how you do it. You just hit invert scale, or you just press Alt-I. So holding Alt and then pressing, oh shoot, Alt-I will do the exact same thing. Eli back asks if I'm... Nope, no, I'm not. Not really have an interest in shorting Bitcoin at this point in time. Not to say that it's not a bad idea. I said yesterday that probably the highest statistical move was to short Bitcoin. But I'm already in a position, so. Looks like we're going below 3,400 right now. What is a good price to buy Bitcoin? You know, I get asked this question a lot, man, and I just have to be consistent with how I feel. I mean, sorry, man. Who did? Guys, make sure to get your HODL merch. 2,800 is anywhere. I think. Okay, so here's my. Let's go to the long-term outlook here. I'll pull up the weekly chart just so we can be a little bit more specific about this. Logarithmic and auto. Okay. So here's where we're looking at for the weekly chart, man. So the bulls on the weekly chart are still valiantly defending that 3350 area, okay? Still valiantly defending 3350. A weekly close below 3350, I begin to become concerned. The next really area that we have for support is that 200 period simple moving average, which hasn't not been closed below. It hasn't been closed below since 2015, which, as we can see, the last time it was actually closed below was on a weekly pin bar that came down and formed our 2015 logarithmic trend line. And then that was the end of the bear market. That was the end of the last bear market. So I don't play fractals out because they're a horrible way to trade off of. But we do see, looking at the momentum here, we do see lowering weekly momentum, guys, as the volume dies off a little bit. So we just started this week right here. We still, now I get what you're saying. We still have a lot of volume comparative to these last weeks, but we've got these nice pin bars. So still a lot of people accumulating at these levels. That to me is a bullish sign. Weekly close below 3350 is going to be fairly bearish, and the key areas that I have marked on Bitstamp for key support based off VPVR: 2895, 27, 26, 2659, 2704, 2502. So I think that a break at the $3,000 psychological support is actually probably going to be fairly bupkis for us. So I don't think 2,900 is really a thing, although that is an area that I've kind of eyeballing on my chart to get a little bit of a bounce off. But if we break 3,000, I think that more than likely we spend a lot of protracted period of time range trading down below. Again, I'm not saying that the bottom's in, but I'm just kind of curious to see how these next few weeks are going to play out. It's really going to tell us how price reacts to 3,000. But just looking at the chart, it seems to me a logical area for the bulls to defend. The $3,000 area is a logical psychological place for the bulls to defend, and we can see that they are doing their best right now. So we have a rough start to the week. We don't have a daily bear break yet. We have not closed below yesterday's bullish candle. And it's not actually a Harami candle yet because of the long tails on it. So it's not perfected. We have these two. We have this double bottom, tweezer bottom reversal right here. And we're just going to see how much momentum we can get out of this baby, okay? Doesn't look like the best momentum that we wanted to see, falling volume on the daily chart. And then we have about 5 hours and 40 minutes for the daily candle to close. So we're also going to see where the daily candle closes again. Foreshadowing people against the the Monday Bloody Monday. And look, we have that 8-period moving average moving in on the daily chart, and we're not even able to close above that yet as well. However, I'm still in my position, looking for that bounce. If we go over here and look at shorts, we can see that shorts actually continue to bleed off. We're now out of the death box after we had this nice little pop back up. We got absolutely gavelled down. Nice little pop back down. Next areas for support on our shorts are actually probably going to be, well, we could pick up anywhere inside this consolidation range right here that was accumulation for the shorts. But yeah, shorts actually continue to die off, and longs actually dying off as well. So falling open interest on long and short positions, guys. So people deleveraging their positions for margin. That's actually indicative of indecision in the marketplace. So bear's not in full control. Bear's in control today, but bear's not in full control of the market yet. We've got some good resistance here from the bulls. So I'm still in my position, and I'm going to see how it plays out, guys. See how it plays out. But where's a good place to buy BTC? Well, again, I bought some at 5K. I bought some at 4K. I'm going to buy some at 3K. I'm going to buy some at 29K. I'm probably going to buy around these areas right here because I do believe in Bitcoin long term, and from an investment standpoint, I'll be continuing to add to my spot position as we continue to go down, just as the smartest people that I know were doing back during the bear market of 2015, and it worked out pretty well for them. So you got to manage that with your own risk. You never want to blindly enter into a position, but there's a difference between trading Bitcoin and there's a difference between investing in Bitcoin. It depends on your time horizon, it depends on your outlook, and it depends how much drawdown you can suffer, man. So never always make your own always make your own investment decisions, man. Jay Constant, I'm scared to miss the bottom, man. Never be scared to miss the bottom, dude. You know, the market only gives you about maybe 5 minutes to ever buy the bottom when the market actually does bottom out. Don't think of it that way, man. Think of it as good areas to dollar cost average into on the way down. And again, the argument that I make is if we go back over here in time, you know, as Bitcoin was going up, you know, people were more than happy to buy some at 6 and at 7 and at 8 and at 9 and at 10. They're like, oh man, I'm dollar cost averaging into this movement upwards. So I just don't see what the problem is with people dollar cost averaging on the way down. It's just fear, man. Don't let fear get to you, man. Worst way to make decisions. I know, man. 300 watchers, 220 likes. Can we look at Agi? Yeah, we can look at Agi, bro. Real Stogger Roach, what's poppin', man? Good morning to you. Matthias Ezequiel Drapish. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm from Argentina, bro. Right on, bro. Nick Rebish, can you tell me about BCH SV? Hey, man. I did just go over BCH SV, man. So if you just want to rewind a little bit, bro, or catch it on the on the movement outwards. Let's see here. When the daily closes, what price is bullish and which is bearish for BTC? And what's a bullish BTC scenario price when the daily closes? I think trading action today is similar to what was happening at the top of the market last year, but in reverse. Let me take those one at a time. So when the daily closes, what price is bullish and which bearish for BTC? Well, based off daily candle closes, your traditional approach would be like this. So I think if the daily candle is able to close above the open of yesterday, that's a neutral sign, slightly bullish. If we're able to close this today's daily candle above these two, which is the open of our previous bearish candle and the close of our beginning of our upwards movement, that's slightly bullish. If we're able to close inside the actual true body of this candle, slightly bullish. But the reality is, traditional candlestick approach, that's actually all, honestly, that's actually all leaning bearish as well, because we've already retraced 50% of this candle in one daily session, and we only have 5.5 hours until this daily candle closes. So if the bulls are able to rally and push this up above the 50% retracement of this candle, that'll be okay as far as full candle body close. I I mean, the reality is that if you're able to close this daily candle above the close of yesterday's candle, it becomes bullish. If you're able to close it below the open of yesterday's candle, it becomes bearish. In between, obviously still today is a bearish day. We'll see how the volume also plays out. There wasn't a whole lot of volume to the push upwards, and not a whole lot of volume to the push downwards. So again, typically when you bottom out, you do enter into a period of accumulation or consolidation. So it's entirely possible that we range trade below this area for a few days, maybe even potentially a week. Again, we've got our load zone right here. But again, volume-wise, also based on historical data, if we go over to the left, this is fairly no man's land. So when we see a stop loss hunt, when we see a wick down into a no man's land, into an LVN, it's typically a stop loss hunt. And that's an area where price likes to stay away from, because price likes to stay within the HVM. But if we look at, if we just look at our volume profile for where we're at, we are actually still closing in the upper areas. We're still closing above the point of control. So I think that honestly, if we're able to close, my outlook is that I'm not changing my position, but my outlook is that if we're able to close above 33.93, which is really the, which is the high, which is the close of our first bullish candle, and we're able to close especially above the point of control at 33.82. We can still expect bullish momentum upwards, or at least consolidation above that point of control. It becomes bearish if we're able to close a daily candle below the point of control and below our true low, our true candle body close. So that's a very tight range. That's a very tight range. So just to measure that out, bearish close below 33.78. Bullish close above 33.94. So that's about a $20 range, guys, for where our daily candle is going to close. So right now, these are just indecision candles. And we have a full retracement of yesterday's bullish movement that was on low volume, but we don't have the same volume right here. So we'll just wait and see. What's a bullish BTC scenario price when the daily closes? Just kind of laid that out. As long as we're staying above the point of control on our candle body close, that's good to me. If we're able to actually start closing candles below, then I'm just looking again at my load zone right here. And do I think trading action today is similar to what was happening at the top of the market last year, but in reverse? Let's go take a look. Doom, 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 doom. Come on, baby. Let me down. Okay. No, not really, not whatsoever. So here's December 17th when we reached our all-time high. Never forget, guys. Never forget. And that's actually a pretty clean indecision candle and then just movement downwards. Let's go look over here. But that's assuming the bottom's in. So let's see here. We have... Well, assuming maybe we take this area out. Trying to find an area that is kind of candlestick fractal to it. Retrace. No, I mean the bears were in pretty full control when we did reverse from the market. Here. Let's take a wider overlook. So we have that pretty steep run down, just a little bit of consolidation. So that actually kind of looks similar. So this would signify our previous sideways. And then we continue moving down. And then we have that breakdown. We have a little bit of a retracement right here. And then we continue moving down sideways. And then we actually get that pop off. So would that signify what? 2,900, 2,850, 2,700? Potentially. Potentially. And then so then when we do reverse, we actually do get, so the confirmation would be when we do bottom out, we get that nice strong bullish reaction sideways, a retest of the lows of the previous high, which in this case would be the highs of the previous low, and then we continue on in the direction of the underlying trend. So this does make sense. Then in that aspect, a sweep down to retest the highs of the previous low. But we don't get that nice V-bottom correction here that we really wanted to see, that movement up to 4K. So we'll just wait and see. We'll wait and see as these shorts continue to drop off. As these shorts continue to drop off pretty rapidly, as they have been for the last like 3 days. But again, you have to take that with a grain of salt, because then we're measuring Bitfinex data. Warner K, the greatest man who doesn't know fuck all, bro. All right, bro. I can't do it, man. Can't do it, bro. I respect dissenting opinion, man, but hey, here's an idea, man. Where am I located at? I wonder why I can't display that, dude. Oh, use your insight and rationale. But nah, dude. You know, I appreciate and respect dissenting opinions too, but this is like the 3rd time you've come in here on some trolling bullshit, bro. So oh, there you go, man. All right, let's see here. Nick Welch, what exchange is best for shorts and longs when residing in America? Well, I have my opinion. I know that there's still issues, supposedly Deribit, but that's still an issue, man. Deribit's still an issue. So, I mean, really the only options available to you, unfortunately, are retail. I'll drag him out for you, Justin. Nah, man, it's all good. It's cool, dude. I guess, I don't know. I guess it feels good to get trolled on. He took a break, though, for a while, dude. He was, like, trolling for a couple days, man. So, it's all good, dude. Doesn't bother me. Let's see here. So, I mean, you don't really have a lot of good options, man, unless you have an institutional grade portfolio and you're able to trade on CME CBOE futures. I would assume that that's probably out of the price range of most people who are wanting to trade. Supposedly Deribit's an option. I haven't signed up on Deribit yet. But when I went to go check it out, I mean, they pushed back on me as an American. So really the only options that you have available to you are, you know, Wild West, man. But again, take that with a grain of salt. And that kind of corresponds to what I was just saying. So all right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of our requests, guys. Yeah, because if we actually go over here to Ribbit, yeah, you're gonna get pushback. You're gonna get pushback when you're trying to sign up as an American. So unfortunately, don't have a lot of good options available to you. Thank you, SEC CFTC. Good for people with dual citizenship. Although that's interesting. I don't know if you can skirt the laws like that. Just keep shouting jihad and you'll be fine. Ah! All right, so what do we got on the map today, guys? Verge, Tron, and Agi. Okay. Ah, come on, fingers. All right. Are margin shorts and longs under time pressure due to the cost of borrowing, or can they hold for weeks and months? Are people still short from 10K? Well, yeah, I mean, it just depends on what exchange you're talking about. So if you're talking about like the CME and CBOE futures, they settle on a certain date. So but you have long expirations, like, so there are definitely people still short from 10K, 12K, who are playing like the March contracts further out. BitMEX is a little shorter, but they do have the March and December contracts right now. So let's see, that March contract would have came in September. So yeah, it's still possible to be shorting from it's still possible. Not from 10K, not on BitMEX, but it's still possibly shorting from 6K. Depending on now they have the perpetual swap contract, so they've been getting dinged with the funding rate, but yeah, they're the perpetual swap has no time horizon on it. So the perpetual swap is perpetual, so they're not under any time pressure whatsoever. The only time that they're going to feel the cost of borrowing is when they're getting squeezed. And for the people that entered up here, like they're good. They're in the bluesies here. Traditional approach would actually be like they would not be out of the trade until they saw some kind of confirmation reversal right here. So yeah, the longs and shorts on BitMEX, and I would assume Deribit is quite the same. Deribit also has a perpetual swap, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, anything perpetual swap, those people could be still in shorts from frickin' 17K if they wanted. But on the actual settled futures, no, because those do have expiration dates. Bit7, that one works with leverage in the USA. I'm actually not familiar with Bit7. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bcash. You can keep each of your positions up to 240 hours. Ah, okay. I don't like that, man. But whatever. Rules. Oh, nice. They have bidirectional position. That's sweet, without having to have a second account. Bit7 index applies a weight average between the price of Poloniex and Bitfinex. Oh, man. I'll have to check this out, man. Unfortunately, the only thing that, again, and the reason that I wasn't really interested in Deribit yet was because I use TradingView. I rely on TradingView, and I can't navigate over there yet. Cornholio, will the next bull run need a catalyst, or can it just turn around from a normal market cycle? I mean, you show me the chart, and I'll tell you what the news is. Yeah, I mean, a catalyst would definitely help, but we don't know what the next catalyst is going to be. It could be Amazon getting in. A lot of people think that the catalyst is going to be the launch of the backed futures, which would actually allow for good price discovery. But more than likely, I don't think that we're going to skyrocket up to 6K anytime soon. I can see, like, in a natural market cycle, us moving up. I'm not an Elliott wave guy, but I've seen a lot of guys charting out like the 4th Elliott wave movement up. For me, it's just, I keep it very simple, man. Like, I just look at what are key areas for support and resistance, guys. And it seems like a key area, obviously, would be a 3K psychological resistance. It seems like to me the bulls are holding that $3,200-$3,100 area quite nicely. It made a lot of sense to me. And the bears are trying to hold the $3,600 region right now. So we'll just see who breaks. We're back down in the order block, but closing above it. Still looking to close that daily candle above that high value node, which is our point of control. Which is where most of the transactions were conducted. So if we're able to stay above that and continue moving up, that's fine. It doesn't concern me that we zoomed up and zoomed down, because that's an LVN. There was not a lot of transactions occurring here. So either two things happen. Kraken, there you go, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah, duh. Kraken, yeah. They can go up to 5x on Kraken. So, yeah, my bad. Kind of biffed it on that one. Yeah, you can use Kraken. Only problem I don't... But again, my issues are liquidity. Liquidity, I guess, is my only issue. But yeah, you can TradingView on Kraken too, so that's good. So I'm going to check out that Bit7. But I doubt I'll be using it. I'm going to do some research on that, baby. So let's get back into Verge, my bad. All right, so XVG USDT. So let's look at what is our ATR 0003. And at this point in time, too, it was what? 0004. So let's just use 0003. Split the baby. So you'd want to be putting that. So your ATR here in your middle line would be 0006 to the upside. Oh, that's not right, is it? 03 is your ATR. Okay, cool. At current price action. Your ATR here, 0004. Talking 0008. Yep. So right there. To there. So this is your, so there's a couple ways to look at this. You have your aggressive entry right here. Why is that? That's there it is. My bad. Why I was looking at that wrong. Okay. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but using 2x ATR away from your support and resistance would give you an aggressive entry area anywhere in here. Your more conservative approach would actually be half of that. So 0004 would be 1 ATR here. Here. So then you have your conservative entry in that. So this is your overarching, again, this is the 4-hour chart. So you're dealing with pretty high freaking margins here, guys, because that's a 23% box. But remember, guys, this is the life we've chosen, the crypto markets, guys. So whereas your conservative entry is going to give you a 70% spread, your aggressive is going to give you a 23% spread, or actually a 36% spread, excuse me. So, and actually, if you want to trade the right way, it would actually be your stop would be 3.5 down here. So you'd be measuring risk from your average entry. So 3.5 ATR would be 04, 0008, so 00112. You'd be managing risk right here. Yeah, you'd be managing risk right here. And then, as you can see, I'm actually in a Verge position right here. So the traditional approach, I guess, would just be looking at your load zone right here. But I always like to extend at least one ATR to the downside to accumulate for wicks, and two ATR to the downside to accumulate for a more aggressive entry. So managing risk here. And we've got our upside targets really haven't changed here, guys. We've got, I guess we do have a new one here. Boom. And here. Looking at XVG. Looking at ATR here on the 4-hour chart. ATR is falling quite low. And the last time that we had, let's see here, last time we had ATR this low, let's see, right there, we had this, okay? And when we really had low ATR, we had this, okay? So when ATR drops low, when volatility tightens up, guys, when volatility tightens up, what often precedes is a high volatility movement. Now, the only thing that concerns me is that this double bottom is not actually super strong to me. We already had this double bottom right here, and we weren't able to get much of a strong reaction off of it, honestly. So we're still in the load zone for XVG USDT, potentially moving sideways here for a while we ramp up and accumulate, especially if we are going to be seeing a little bit of a bullish pop from our alts. But yeah, that's really the only way to play this, man. You've got your load zone and you're managing risk down here. Position sizing is everything with XVG, man, because highly speculative. It's got a lot of upside potential, but the only way that you can manage your risk with these spreads, man, is to have your stop loss where it needs to be and to have your accumulation where it needs to be. And so your most effective form of risk management with any altcoin position is going to be position size, guys. I would be probably splitting up my entries. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential entries there. You've got the top, quarterly, quarterly, you've got the mid-range, quarterly, and you've got the bottom. So that's 5 potential entries. Split your position out no more than 1 to 3% of your portfolio. Manage your buys at 20% of each of those so that you can average into your average buy of around here, of around 0.005 cents. And then you're managing risk at 0.004 cents. And you're looking at upside potential of 0.066, 0.00707, 0.008, 0.009. Sounds like a bad GoldenEye film, man. James Bond 008, The Return of the Verge-a-thon. Dun, dun, dun. Can I share my vision? Yes. Let me peer into the mists. So yeah, that's it. That's your outlook on Verge, brother. You have retraced. Probably what, the 88.6? Yeah, you're actually right a little bit below that 88.6, honestly. So a little scary for that full retracement all the way back down, 100% retracement actually, if you include this. We've bounced up, where did we get rejection actually? They're from looking at Nachi. You weren't even able to close above the 786, man. So again, just playing out positional trading. This is your load zone right here. It's the only way to play it, man. But remember, you had your load zone over here, man. You had your load zone over here, and what happened? You broke down through it, man. You had that double bottom that played out. You had a little bit of consolidation and then crash all the way down. So is this going to be the exact same thing right here? Got your double bottom after that nice run up. A little bit of consolidation and then potentially the crash right down through. So just make sure you're managing your risk through position sizing. This would be a very, very, very small portion of my portfolio, and is. So TRX. I save that. Let's look at TRX BTC first. I already have that charted out. That's pretty well though. Yeah, you came up into your death zone, man, and got rejection from it. So you're pretty far below your load zone, man. Unless you get a break of this area, and then you can look at your upward targets here. But Shoot, where's it at? Mr. Acnus. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. Highly appreciate it. Yeah, this is obviously going to rise and fall with the price of BTC, but this is actually not looking supremely bullish to me. In the short term, actually, I know that a lot of people are looking at Mr. Tron here. In the short term, you do have this ascending channel. Okay, you do have this ascending channel. You just bounced off the lower end, so we'll really see here in a little bit if we come back up and get rejection, specifically actually from our lows here. If we get rejection from our lows, that to me is going to probably signal a break out of this channel and a return down to lower support areas. Let's do a full chart of this bad boy because I haven't. Okay. All right. One, two, three. Definitely found where the liquidity is. Like that. I've already charted out upward resistance here. I'll add a few more. Target. Bottom here. Right. Okay, cool. So you've got, and then I guess you got this baby too. That hasn't been tested yet. So this looks to me, unless we're able to break out of this consolidation pattern, doesn't look like the right area to enter yet. Again, you can take that breakout trade. For me, that's going to be a break and a close above 400 Satoshis. Close above 400 Satoshis for me would be a good breakout trade. Looking to retest these upper areas right here. And but I think a breakout trade on that area would actually be able to carry you through to 44, at least 441. So that'd be a pretty good breakout trade. You can also manage your risk fairly effectively because if you're able to close above that, you could be setting a stop probably right underneath your entry or probably right around here, around 382 for your target. That's good R to R. That's a 5% drawdown and looking for a 10% movement. So that's a good 2-to-1 R to R right there. Decent breakout position trading on Tron. But just for position trading, man, like your load zones are down here. So we could actually look at that when we get down there. So in the midterm, I'm actually kind of bearish here on Tron. Unless we're able to break out above this resistance zone. For me particularly, that's going to be my 400 level, 400 Satoshis. Close above that would be good. Just be on the lookout for your candlesticks on your 4-hour chart. If you start seeing formations like this and big wicks to the upside, then you want to take your profits on that short, on that. It just become a scalp at that point in time. In the short term, we do have a potential bounce off this channel pattern, but we'll see if we actually get rejection from our lows right here at about 382. If we do get rejection from that low area, and then previously also above that from this order block area. Then I'd probably be looking for a breakdown of this channel. And then you could have an aggressive entry here. So what's ATR right now? This is BTC. So ATR is actually 2%. it actually? Quantifier though. 2%, because that's a pain in the ass to quantify. Okay, so 2 ATR is actually 31%. So I'd like to take the bottom here. So 31%. There. So this is your aggressive load zone. And actually within that, you've actually got here. Within that, you've got your conservative load zone. So 2 ATR, 1 ATR right there. So you'd be managing risk at 3.5 ATR. Which right now is 6%. So average entry, risk at. What just happened? I got magically transported to Bitcoin dollar. That's funny. Must have a hotkey for it. Managing risk at 6. So that's your aggressive entry right there. So I'd play that out. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential entries if you wanted to play the mid, and then you're looking at targeting. Looking at targeting these two in the short term. That'll give you about 8% to the upside to 6% to the downside. You're still at about 1.2 R to R there. And then obviously your third target for midterm movement would be up there. That would give you your good 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that's your aggressive entry actually. Your more conservative entry is going to be down here. You could either split the baby and take. It'd be more inclined to take this one, honestly. So actually, I'd probably do 2 ATR from here. Let's see what's the better area to enter. This one, honestly, splitting the baby in between your low and your high right there. So. And it hasn't been retested. You got a triple tweezer off of it, so I'd probably want to do this area. Of course, we can't plot that out until we get down here and see what ATR is. So here's your aggressive entry right here. You take that if you want. Managing risk, so that's going to be an average entry of about 342 Satoshis, managing risk at 321 Satoshis, looking at upward targets at 359, 372, and 400. I'll publish this, and then you can refer to this if you want. And as always, everything's on my Twitter, on our TradingView if you follow us, and posted in Technical Analysis channel in the Discord. All right, so there's TRX for you, brother. And let's go over to Agi. You want to take a look at Agi. I always prefer to look at it in dot. There's no tether base. There's no tether back. All right, we'll just worry about those in the short like that. That's good. That 1, 2. All right. In a little bit. So no, Agi had that nice little bit of news that pushed us up here pretty nice, but you can actually see that we didn't have the reaction to it in actual fiat pairings that that we actually saw in the BTC value. And so you have to take that in conjunction with, okay, is this just moving up because BTC is moving up? Or talk about gaps, man. This thing's all over the place, but we'll do our best, man. So, I mean, you are coming up on your load zone, man. So you've got your aggressive entry and you've got your conservative entry, and that's really all you've got to go over. So let's look at ATR. ATR is 0.005. So 2 ATR. One. Right there. One right. Dude, that's painful. But that's what you're working with, guys. Purple. And you've got your conservative 1 ATR. Fucking that's man. Sorry, it's supposed to be a kid-friendly show, my bad. So you've got your aggressive load here. Conservative load here. Not allowed, Mr. Soulpod. Nat cool, man. Don't do faucets, bro. So then you'd be managing risk at that was So there's your aggressive entry, looking at your average entry price. To get your average entry price to 3.6 pennies. You've got your top of your average range at 4.49 pennies. You've got the lower range at 2.6 pennies. And then you've got entries also at 4 pennies and 0.31 pennies. All right, so that would give you an average entry of 0.36 or 3.6 pennies. Sorry. You're looking to manage risk at 1.8 pennies, so that's actually going to be in percentage terms. You actually have pretty fairly wide spread here. You have a 41%. You have a 41% spread, and you're managing risk at 48% to the downside from your managed risk. So for that to be worth it, you've got to get at least 100% to the upside. So for you to have that 2-to-1, you've got to hit take profit target 1.5 is what you got to do for that to be worth your risk right there. So looking over at your more your conservative entry right here. That level right there would be actually your average entry, so we'll take that. Here. That line there, we'll leave that line there, that line, and this line. This line. And you'd be measured. Okay. Long-term outlooks for AGI USD, man. Long-term outlooks for AGI USD, man. You got a lot of potential drawdown, man, from this trade. But that would be an invalidation of your bottoms right here. So you've got your options, man. These aren't super different, just a different variation in taste and risk tolerance. Now, again, I have aggressive stop loss just so it applies to this, and I have conservative stop loss just as it applies to this, guys. So when you're talking about risk management, it's all about position sizing for altcoins, guys. And again, you can feel free to tighten that up. You can have a more conservative stop loss. If you don't want to do 3.5 ATR, you can actually go to 2x ATR. If you want to be more aggressive with your position, you can actually have a 5x ATR. It depends on whatever style you like to trade. This is what I find to be statistically likely and probable. Now, you want to pay attention, though, too, as well. You want to pay attention to volume. Let's see here. You do seem to have a bit of a selling climax here. And then again here, but it isn't able to suppress price very much. And then really you've just had bullish volume, guys. So this kind of looks like it's in a long-term period of accumulation. We'll get confirmation though if we break below these lows. The volume really matters. The volume really matters, and you've got upside targets of 6.15, 70, or of 6.1 cents, 7.9 cents, and 9.7 cents. Almost 10 cents, guys. We'll see how Mr. Agi here plays out. Let's publish this after saving. And it's about, I've been doing this for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, guys. Thank you so much, man. XLM, yeah, bro. Let's go check out, I'll show you the chart for XLM real quick because I haven't really changed my thinking about that. Got my laddered entries. Got my take profits, brother. Gonna have to do up my lumens chart a little bit better. But we already talked about this, the amount of data, so. I think we got a little bit more downside here for XLM. We'll see if we close below this low. It seems like we got rejection from our low right here. So we got current resistance right here, actually updated resistance, because this held as resistance. So now we've got to get above that bad boy right there. Yes, sir. All right, guys. What do I think about Ethereum Classic? I think it's dead, man. They've shut their doors. I don't think it'll go to zero, man. Like, you can't name me like one coin that's gone to zero. They just trade zombie coins. People hold them. It's going to take decades for any of this stuff to go to zero. I don't know. It's a tradable asset, man. So just because the devs shut their doors doesn't mean anything. But I'd be very, very hesitant in trading this, man. Got a lot of bad news bears here, man. Liquidity here. Typically don't like to go bullish on an asset where the founders are like, nah, we're done. Fuck this shit. Not their fault, man. Like, I really liked Ethereum Classic and I like the dev team, dude. They just weren't able to handle it, man. They just weren't able to pay. You get a couple nice reactionary spikes, man, but I don't think it's enough to stop the flood of people selling. I mean, we'll keep our eye out, man. We'll keep our eye out. If we're able to have a breakout trade above here, then, you know, potentially retesting this target right here. But do I think that Ethereum Classic's going to have some magical massive flip? No, in fact, you can just see the slow bleed out. You see the slow bleed out. This is everybody that was in the know selling their Ethereum Classic, obviously. So I'm very speculative of any bounces that we get off here. I wish I could short it, honestly. I'd be shorting any bounce. Omega 18, no problem, man. All right, guys, let's check in with Mr. XBT. Still holding well above that. Still holding well above that order block and in the high and in the HVN. So we'll see here. A little consolidation-y, Looks like the bleeding has stopped a little bit. And we'll just kind of see how this baby plays out, man. Still, nothing's changed for me. Nothing's changed for me whatsoever on my XBT long. I'm out of position on my Ethereum long, and I'll kind of wait. I might even potentially look to hedge by shorting ETH and going long on XBT. I know they move in lockstep, but that in the short term is going to allow me to hedge my position. So we'll wait and see. Looking at the spot price for XRP, actually probably going to look for opportunities to short Ripple. Probably going to wait for a bounce and look for an opportunity to short Ripple here. Look for potentially a rejection of this area right here. And Bcash, I still feel. What about Ethereum? More downside? More than likely. It's going to follow BTC, but like I just said, it actually probably wouldn't be a good idea for me in my position anyways to potentially hedge by shorting Ethereum. But not now. Don't short the bottom, for the love of God. I still have buys placed at 83 and 80, so see how that baby plays out, man. I took 88 to 94, 95, 96 the last couple days, so not in a position on Ethereum anymore. I'd be cautious against shorting this stuff, guys. I mean, everybody's calling to short, dude. And there's opportunities. Like yesterday, I said, hey, if you guys want to short back down at 3,300, that's cool, dude. But yeah, I'd be careful. Never short at the bottom, man. Never short at the bottom. Want to be looking too long at the bottom. And short resistance, long support. It gives you a much better way to manage your risk as well. All right, guys. Well, that's all for me. I got a lot of stuff I got to run and do, and then I got to get the members updated, man. So let's head over to the most important thing you guys can do today, man. Head on over to KrakenCryptocurrency.com, guys, if you're interested in joining our the Kraken Cryptocurrency community or the Kraken Cryptocurrency trading group, guys. If you click right here, it's going to take you to our, I guess this switches around, so Scott was doing some updates to the website, but generally this blue button brings you to our Discord, but I don't know what, I guess, I don't know, I should have got with Scott, like, I don't know what button brings you to the Discord now anymore. I think it's Cryptocurrency community and let you join our Discord, this beautiful blue button up here. If you guys support the show, if you want to keep us on the air, guys, a lot of ways. Go check out Patreon or subscribe on Twitch, or you could pick up some merch, guys. It is scientifically proven that if you bust a Kraken Cryptocurrency HODL shirt like this, you will be 80% more attracted to the opposite sex, guys. If you are interested in following along with the Kraken Cryptocurrency trading group, guys, you can see what we have to offer. Let's see here. You do get access to the VIP chat room, the Kraken Cryptocurrency chat room, the Kraken Cryptocurrency trading group voice chat for day trading. You get access to all our trade setups. You get access to once-a-week webinars for trading strategy and insights, and access to the resource library as well, guys. And mentorship to help you grow in your trading journey, guys. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave your comments, questions, sarcastic remarks, and death threats in the comment section down below, or email us at contact@krakencryptocurrency.com, or fill out this beautiful support form right here. It comes right to us, guys, or DM us in the Discord. We do reply to all messages eventually and generally quite promptly, honestly. So you guys have been fantastic. Thank you for joining me today on this Monday morning, guys. Overall outlook, I think, is there. Feel free to rewind if you missed anything. And if you have any questions, just get a hold of me, guys. I will be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, as I always am, 12 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard, guys. You guys peace out and be good, man.